Welcome to another Pop Dissected podcast. Today, we're going to be diving into a pretty divisive topic, whether pop stars and celebrities should be involved in politics or not. I know this will open the floodgates for a lot of comments, so I just want to get this out of the way and say nothing outright in this video is going to be aligned with any political party, and we're not going to be going in depth about specific issues or causes. I want to merely pose some questions we can answer together. People can get very up in arms about celebrities using their status and platform to speak out on certain issues or causes. Now, if at any point I say something that is interpreted the wrong way, comes across as dismissive or uninformed, I'd love if somebody could kindly point out where I may have made a mistake, because obviously I don't want to be offensive in any way. I believe change only comes from education, not judgment. So I'll do my best to keep this as light as possible because I think this can be navigated rather inoffensively. Before we continue though, let me know which star you've seen advocate for causes that you believe did it so well, it truly made an impact in our society. So there are going to be a few specific ideas we'll explore and then expand upon. So let's get into it. The first question I'd like to ask is if celebrities actually understand the struggle of ordinary citizens when they go out and campaign for things that impact us. Celebrities have wealth, image, status, connections, and ascend the ranks of those who work a 9-to-5 or live just to pay their rent on time. One can argue celebrities do not understand the struggle of the quote-unquote normal person. We have to consider that unless you're a celebrity born into wealth and with connections, you at some point were a quote-unquote regular person. However, given how many celebrities start off so young in their fame, did they ever truly experience the hardships most of us face in our day-to-day life? Some stars struggled financially before they got their big break, and does that make them more apt to speak on these issues than ones who were comfortable at ages like 13? I think when you're engulfed in the world of fame and money, your perspective can shift, and the idea of who you were before becomes so much more distant, and you can easily fall out of touch with those things and those struggles. Though plenty of stars speak out on how they've struggled and what they went through before they were able to support themselves and have a career. But are they indebted to who they were before they rose to their fame, and those who are like how they used to be? This goes into my second question. Do celebrities and stars even have to use their platform to raise awareness about certain things? I don't believe anyone should be told what to do, and no one in this world has an inherent responsibility. They make the choice to hold responsibility. With a large platform, you undoubtedly do have influence. Many stars have spoken out about LGBTQ+ rights, racism, feminism within politics and the industry, and animal rights. These are social issues that I believe don't really have a counter argument against them. Stars, for the most part, only spread awareness about these issues. However, some can go into the intricacies that may be overlooked by the general public. But I don't think someone can stand here and say someone is wrong for advocating for fair and equal treatment for individuals. That is common decency, and it's a right for people. Laws persecuting those aforementioned individuals and groups are included in this, as I don't believe there should be any legislation that tells a woman what she should do with her body, how much she should get paid, or laws that tell queer people they can or can't do something. There are certain issues that are very broad that anyone speaking up about them is not an issue and should not be made into one, regardless if a celebrity is talking about them. Some things we challenge in society are crucial for the well-being of so much of the population. It shouldn't be controversial. Celebrities can bring forward conversations we may not always consider, and I think it just prompts us to do more research into these injustices so we ourselves can become more informed, not just take a famous person's word for it. This also brings into question how much should a celebrity be involved in their respective cause? Is a simple post enough, or should they be out and about campaigning and speaking at events? If there's one thing I think, it's that activism for a lot of people is never enough. You're either doing too little, the bare minimum, or despite your best efforts, you aren't achieving enough. I do think there's a difference between putting in conscious effort versus being very passive about how you engage, because you feel you have to. I think a handful of celebrities at times do the bare minimum because they think it's required of them. There's no doubt having an extensive platform gives you power, but with power comes responsibility. Now, is it up to the listener to educate themselves, or should the celebrity be able to give us a play-by-play of a certain issue or cause? I believe we as people have to do our own research, because we aren't going to get the full scope of it from modern news networks or just from an infographic. We may get bits and pieces, but if we really want to be informed about something we care about, we have to take the initiative. From all of this, I think it's perfectly fine and commendable for celebrities to speak out about rights and issues plaguing those who are minorities or have historically been faced with injustice. It shouldn't be controversial to say queer people should be safe in their day-to-day life, or women deserve equal respect, or people of color shouldn't have to face racism, societally or systemically. I think the real issue people have with celebrities being political is when it comes to political candidates. To champion equal rights and treatment for people is inoffensive, and I believe if you're against that, you need to sincerely readjust your thinking. Those kind of topics are what most celebrities get behind and do support. However, once you're aligned with a political party or candidate, I think this is where things, for lack of a better word, get dangerous. Now, if you support an individual you believe holds up your ideologies and things you want, then that's fine for you. I think an issue arises when candidates are pushed by a celebrity based on a single issue or factor, because this in turn doesn't represent the entire candidate's intentions or policies they like to pursue. Again, this goes back to whether we should take the word of the news or celebrity, or if we are indebted to ourselves to do our own exploration and research. I think it rubs people the wrong way when a celebrity advocates for a candidate and only uses one or two issues or factors to push support for them and encouraging people to vote for them. Does this then imply that by not supporting said candidate that you're doing something wrong, or by default you're supporting the enemy, opposition, or what have you? Also, celebrities can very much alienate a portion of their fan base or listeners when aligning themselves. This goes all the way back to issues that affect quote-unquote normal citizens, not the wealthy. Can a celebrity support a candidate based on 1 to 2 factors without considering how the rest of their policies will impact the average person? And does a celebrity even care, since they have so much wealth and status that a lot of these things will never impact them? It's interesting to note how celebrities will hit the campaign trail but remain rather silent once their choice is voted in. It's almost as if it can be an effort to persuade voters and the public without much down-the-line thinking. I like to say, I don't think it's an issue for celebrities to encourage people to vote. Lady Gaga made this really strong video a while back asking viewers to vote, and it was done very well. And though she shared her own political beliefs, they weren't pushed upon any of the viewers. I think a lot of people can get up in arms because celebrities at times can discuss certain issues without being self-aware of their privilege they may have in their own life. We have to ask, why does a famous person's opinion matter more than the masses? We do take into account their status and potential swaying power, obviously, but does it inherently mean that a candidate is worth supporting just because a celebrity chooses to endorse them? Why does a pop star's opinion, for some, supersede anything else? I think we can also get into the issue of people blindly following celebrity support without any awareness beyond, my fave likes them, so now I do too. This again goes back to you need to have your own wherewithal to do your own research. My take is that regardless of who you support as an artist, or just in general as a person, you should never blindly subscribe to everything they do and say and believe in without forming your own educated opinion first. But what do you think? Should celebrities be involved in specific politics and speaking about political candidates? Do you believe they're out of touch or their approach can be misguided at times? Lastly, what is the best example you've seen of a celebrity being proactive for certain causes? Thank you so much for listening, everybody. If you enjoyed this kind of video, please be sure to subscribe and drop a like. I'd also like to quickly shout out my channel members, Skyhawker, Daniel Barron, Steven, David Vosmediano, and Carl Dillinson. Thank y'all so much for your support. If you'd like to become a channel member and help decide future video topics, engage in exclusive polls, and get special name and comment badges, then I'd love to have you as a channel member. Thank you for listening.